All right, gang. Craig Wessel here again, All-Star Lineup Baseball, continuing with our 1927 postseason tournament. We've got Detroit at home today. So New York and Detroit in the second game of the three-game series. New York leads the series 1-0 so Detroit needs to step up today to stay in it. So we'll see how they can do. Our pitchers today, pitching for the hometown Detroit Tigers, Sam Gibson, and pitching for the visiting Yankees, Urban Shocker. So see how the matchups go. I went ahead and went high-tech for my rolls today so you can see me roll. My dice tower is just too big for me to put on here. So let's go ahead and get started. We got Gibson pitching to Collins. As you can see, they're both yellow-rated players, which means they're even up. First thing we need to do, let's roll a d6 for Gibson and see if platoon splits are going to be on his side today or not. Okay, 1 to 3 they are, 4 to 6 they are not. Okay, so I'll just roll this d6 right here. Roll all of them. Hey, why not? 1. It's a 1 to 3, so they are. So the platoon splits do matter for him. So when he faces lefties, he is going to get a +1 advantage. All right. Sorry, when he faces righties. Sorry, losing my vision today. When he faces righties, he'll get a +1 advantage. Okay, and Collins is a righty, so even though they'd normally be even up, he gets +1 on Collins. So let's roll it up. Reds for the batter. Batter rolls a 6, pitcher rolls a 7, but Gibson is +1, which means either way you want to look at it, either you take 1 away from Collins or add 1 to Gibson. Either way, pitcher wins that. A 17 on his card is a line out. All right, and just checking that to see to line out to the pitcher. So right back at him for the first out of the game. All right, so put that down here on Collins. All right, so we have 1 out. And we move on to Lou Gehrig coming to the plate, the first baseman. Gehrig's green rated, so he's got +1 on Gibson, and he also, the platoon splits don't help Gibson out here, so Gibson at a -1 disadvantage, or Gehrig at a +1, however you want to look at it. Doesn't matter. Gehrig rolls a 5 to Gibson's 1, so it's a 15, and on Gehrig's card, a 15 is a walk. So he draws base on balls to begin, and he is on first base. All right, so we have a man on first and 1 out. All right, and Lazari comes up, second baseman. He's also green rated, but he's a righty. So Gibson, he would be at a disadvantage. Now they're going to go even up because of the platoon split advantage. All right, so they're going to roll this thing even up. Pitcher wins 7 to 6, and a 10 on his card is a ground out. We're going to see what happens, where this ground out's to. Oops, sorry, y'all. Hang on, guys, calm down. Ground out is 2. That's right in front of the plate to the catcher. All right. So Lazari knows one in front of the plate. Now we're going to see the ground out is made. He's average runner. So I mean he'll advance on that, which effectively becomes a sacrifice bunt, and Lazari is out. So 2 outs. All right, and Gehrig is now on second. All right. Moving on. Joe Dugan coming up. Dugan playing third today as usual. He and Gibson match up evenly as far as their ratings, pitcher to batter. However, they're both righties, so Gibson gets a +1 advantage. Doesn't matter. He rolls a 7 to Dugan's 2, so he wins it. 17 is a line out, so we end the inning on a line out to the first baseman. All right. So hang on 1 second. Line out to first baseman 3. So making sure I got my score sheet updated properly there. Okay, so in the top of the first, nothing for the Yankees. All right, so we move on, moving this over here, taking Gehrig off second base. He's not on there anymore. No outs for the hometown Tigers coming up. Okay, Larry Woodall leading off. He and Urban Shocker are both yellow rated, so they're even up there. However, we haven't checked Urban Shocker for his platoon splits. 1 to 3 he has the advantage, 4 to 6 he does not. Rolls a 4 he does not. So for Urban Shocker, righty-righty doesn't make a difference for him. He is even up with Woodall and doesn't get the platoon split advantage. Okay? So, now just so you know, if I had a green pitcher, for a green pitcher, 1 to 4 they get the advantage, 5 to 6 they don't. So it's for a green pitcher, a better pitcher, they have more of a chance of having their good stuff and the platoon split's working for them. A blue pitcher has less chance than a yellow pitcher does. It's kind of just how I'm doing it. Not a hard and fast rule, but something I've been playing with lately that I kind of like. Otherwise, the platoon splits for both pitchers, it just gives it a flavor of a little more chance to the game. So, all right, Larry Woodall even up with Urban Shocker. They both roll 5s. Okay, they're even up, so that means we pull a wild card. Wild card is an error. So, one way or the other, let's see who the E was on. I rolled them all, didn't mean to. Error was on the left fielder. All right, so it's E7, and that puts Woodall on first base. Okay. So he's on first. Let's get our wild cards back out there. Okay, so nobody out, one man on for Johnny Noon. And Johnny is a righty, but it doesn't matter for Urban Shocker. They'll even up yellow to yellow. Okay, so here we go. Pitcher wins 8 to 5. A 12 on his card is a fly out. Let's see, it's a fly out 2. Oh, cooperate. I've frozen my dice here. Hang on. That's what I get for using technology, right? Hang on. You stop. You stop. Hang on, guys. All right, there we go. Sorry. That was a little irritating. All right. Go back in the game. All right. All right, so we got Woodall on first. Noon coming up. As I say, yellow versus yellow. Here we go. 2 to 1. Batter wins. It's a 7 on his card. That is a single. All right. Woodall's an average runner, so we'll just go station to station with him. He's now on second, and Noon is on first. All right. So here we go. Again, yellow to yellow. So they're even up. So that's how we roll it. 2 to 1. Batter wins it. There's a 9 on his card, and a 9 for him is a single. All right. So again, average runner, we'll go station to station on it. If you want to know where it was 2. The single 2, an error by, or almost an error by the pitcher, but straight past the pitcher, so straight up the middle. And then we go on to Warner. Okay, we got him on first, second, and third. Keep me honest here on this, guys. All right, make sure I keep my runners in the right place. Okay. All right, so we got Warner coming up at the plate. Warner is blue rated, which he's -1 to Shocker. Okay, so the red dice will take 1 away from. They rolled 4-3, take 1 away. That's a tie. That means we pull a wild card here, kids. Wild pitch, runners advance 1 base. All right, so Shocker throws one to the backstop. And Detroit draws first blood in this one today. All right, so, oops, 2, 3. So what all scores? And that is 1 for the Tigers. I have that backwards. No, that's right. 2, 3. Okay. All right, and Warner is on first. Still no outs, so Detroit's got something going here. All right, so here we go. Jackie Tavener coming up, the shortstop. He's also yellow rated, so he's rolling straight up with Urban Shocker. He rolls a 6, so he wins. A 12 on his card is a double. So Tavener is going to get these two dudes in, and he's going to leave Warner on third. All right, that's 2 more runs in. So we have runners at second and third, and Detroit now has 3 in the first with nobody out. All right, he's on second. Sorry. Just for scoring purposes, it was a double to center field. Okay. All right. All right, so Detroit's got it moving here in the first inning. All right, coming up with Fothergill is coming up, playing left field today. And he is green rated against Urban Shocker, so he has a +1. All right, so add 1 to whatever we roll on the red dice. Rolls a 3, add 1, make it a 4. He still loses, and that is a ground out on Shocker's card. Okay, so we get our first out of the inning. It was a ground out to the catcher right in front of the plate. I'm going to say in the infield here, right in front of the plate. So the out was made at first base, and we score a run on that one. All right, so that moves everybody up. Tavener there. We scored another run. So 4 runs in the bottom of the first for Detroit. And the hometown crowd is loving it. All right, so here we go. Fothergill is out at first, so that's 2 outs. And we got Manouche coming up, even up with Shocker. So straight up roll. They tie, so we're going to pull a wild card. Momentum shift. Pitchers next to D8 rolls are +1. All right. So that's for the visiting team. I'm going to put that over here. So remember that goes with New York. All right, so we're going to roll it again. Rolling straight up. Pitcher rolls a 7, so pitcher wins. 14 on his card is a fly out, so the final out of the inning is a fly out too. I can see here, I'll add a 20 back in there again. We'll make it green. And fly out to the first baseman. So it'll pop up on the infield. It's the end of the inning. All right. So there we go. Detroit brings in 4 runs in the first. Stun the Yankees in the visitors' clubhouse. So we roll on. Manouche with the final out of that inning. Now, the way I play typically is these disappear at the end of the inning. Okay, so even though there's 1 more roll with a +1, doesn't matter. The Yankees pitcher didn't get it done, so it goes away. All right. So we got nobody out. Sorry, we were in the bottom of the first. Now we're in the top of the second. Got to keep my indicator. So let me make this a little clearer for you guys. Getting sloppy over here. There we go. So, top of the second, 4-0 Detroit. All right. All right, we've got Koenig is coming up. We have that one with with Manouche, just make sure there. All right. We're going to roll them up. They would be straight up. Now, platoon splits do apply for Gibson. They would roll straight up, but they're both righties, so Gibson gets a +1 advantage. So add one to the pitcher dice, the black guy. Too bad for Koenig. He rolls a 6 as much as he can roll. Not good enough. He loses to a 7. It becomes an 8 anyway. So 9 on the card. It's a ground out. It's a ground out to third base. All right. So we're going to make that, score that in here as our first out of the inning. All right. Got one out. Babe Ruth coming up. The big left fielder steps in, and he is a +1 to Gibson. Platoon split does not favor Gibson at all, so I'm going to add 1 to the Babe's dice, the red die. He rolls a 5, but Gibson rolls a 7, so the pitcher gets it again with another ground out. And the Babe grounds out just in front of the plate, and Woodall makes the throw to first base for the out. Okay, so we got 2 outs. All right, a little different from yesterday's game. Seems like the Tigers have things going their way. All right, after Ruth, we have Coombs coming up. Coombs playing center field, and here we go. He is +1 to Gibson. So add 1 to the red die. Doesn't matter. Gibson wins it with a 7. 20 on his card is a line out. So to end this inning, right there I went and froze it again. Thank you for using technology, guys. Unfreeze it. There we go. In the inning. Problem is I've got a cracked screen. It was a line out to shortstop. So there we go. Yankees go down 1, 2, 3 in the inning, and they're still haven't gone through the order yet. Let's move on to the bottom of the second. All right, nobody out, nobody on. Muse will be up next time for the Yankees, but for now we've got Heilman coming up for the Tigers, and Heilman against Shocker, he's +1 because he's green rated versus yellow. So we'll add 1 to the red die. Add 1 doesn't matter. Pitcher wins that one with a 5-3, and it's a 13 on his card, which is a flyout, and we'll call that a flyout to second baseman. All right. So, all right, and then we've got Gibson coming up. If you're new to the game, just realize I'm using a stand-in card for the pitcher because the pitcher's card wasn't better than this one. Okay, I typically do that for him so that we at least get some action out of the pitchers. So here we go. Gibson coming up. He is -1 to Shocker. Okay, so we'll take 1 away from the red die. Ooh, that's not good. Pitcher wins. 14 on his card is that fly out, and that is a fly out to right field. Okay, so 2 quick pop outs. 1. There we go. All right, so 2 outs for the Tigers. And we move on to, Larry Woodall, top of the order. All right. Woodall's even up with Shocker, so no change to the rolls. 3-8. Pitcher wins that matchup, and there is a line out for the final out of the inning. Line out to third base. All right. So 5 for third out. All right, and so that ends the inning for the Tigers with no runs. And let me update this just to be sure I keep it current for you guys. All right, no runs right now. 4-0 Tigers. All right, moving on. Move the next one up. Right now, for the Yankees, on the top of the third, I'm coming up with Bob Musil's coming up. He's green rated against Gibson. So he's +1. Platoon split doesn't help Gibson. All right, so no, +1. Doesn't matter. Gibson rolls a 6, so he wins it with a 13, and that's a fly out. So it's just a little pop up to the catcher behind the screen. All right, caught it for the first out. Clear my house there. Sorry about that. All right, so we got 1 out for the Yankees, and Shocker is coming up. And again, I'm using the pitcher batter card because Shocker's card isn't rated higher than this. So we're set there with him, and he is -1 to Gibson. He rolled a 6, -1's a 5, which means Shocker gets on base. Shocker gets on base, and on his card, a 14 is a walk. So there we go. So he is, let's see, F2, 1, gotta make sure I keep track of this. 1. All right. All right, so back to top of the order. Pat Collins coming up. So we get something going for the Yankees here. Collins and Gibson are even up, except the platoon split favors Gibson. So Gibson, we're going to add +1 to the black die. Okay, so he wins at 5-2. A 20 on his card is a line out. All right, that is going to be a line out too. So it's just a foul tip. Okay, so no advancement for the runner on that one. 2 outs in the inning. Let's see. Do you want to do it over here? I'm just keeping track of everything just so I stay the right guys and everything. All right. Lou Gehrig coming up. Gehrig steps in with a +1 advantage against Gibson. So we're going to add 1 to the red die here. Okay, we always got a runner on with 2 outs. Here we go. Gibson is throwing bullets today. 8-2, he wins that one. A 9 on his card is a ground out. It is a ground out to shortstop. All right, so a little 6-3 to end the inning. Third out. And Lazari will be up next inning for the Yankees. All right, so top of the third, Yankees put up nothing. Goes bottom of the third. And here we go, Johnny Newman coming up for Detroit. Johnny is even up with Shocker, so no changes for the rolls. And he loses it 4-3. It is a fly out for Shocker. So it's a fly out to the right fielder. So F9 in the scorebook, 1 out. All right. It always helps you put that on the right team as you're scoring. Just a little tip for you scorekeepers out there. All right, Charlie Gehringer coming up. He is even up with Shocker, so we don't need to run on first there. So here we go. Shocker wins at 7-5. 17 on his card's a line out. There's a line out to second base. Okay. So we'll do that here. 2 outs in the inning. Convenient how I just left that there. You know, just let it catch up to it. Okay. Okay. Jack Warner coming to the plate. I mentioned this before, but Warner is one of those borderline guys. He could be rated yellow if he had 1 more point in the way I've rated him. So I'm still going to play in blue, but just to let you know, he's one of those guys that you could, you know, stomp and yell and say he should be a better hitter than he is. And if you chose to make that change, I wouldn't fault you for it. But I'm going to leave him as he is. So he is -1 to Shocker. So we take away 1 from the red dice. Rolls a 3, which makes it a 2, but Shocker rolls a 5, so he wins it, and it is a ground out. So to end the inning, little never to the catcher. So Warner goes down, and that is 3 outs for the Tigers. And we move on to the top of the fourth, with the Tigers still leading 4-0. All right. And Tavern will be up next. For the Tigers, okay. Nobody out, top of the fourth. Make sure everything's set up right. All right, so Tony Lazzeri coming up for New York Yankees. Gibson pitches. It would be a tie, but Lazzeri has a +1 on Gibson. So the batter wins that one. It's at 19. That's a bunt hit for Lazzeri. All right, so he is on first base. We'll put him on first. We'll go to Dugan coming up next. All right, Dugan's even up with Gibson, except platoon split makes it a +1 for Gibson. So basically we'll just take one away from the red die. So 5-3, batter still wins it. Dugan gets a hit. On Dugan's card, a 17 is a walk, or gets on base rather. So station to station, Dugan is on first, Lazzeri at second. Okay. Okay, up next, Koenig. The shortstop comes up. Even up, except the platoon split favors Gibson. So again, we'll take one away from the red die. 3 -1 to 2, he still wins it. And a 4 is a single. Okay, so he ropes a single. And that single is hit to left field. So he strokes one out to left field. Okay. Now we're going to see our lead runner is Dugan. He's a slow runner. I'm going to say he did not go home on that. Okay. I could roll it, but it wouldn't be pretty. All right. So Dugan is at third. I did that wrong the first time. No. Lazzeri is at third. Dugan's at second. And Koenig's at first. Sorry, I had him backwards up there. All right. And the Babe steps to the plate with the bases loaded for the Yankees here. Nobody out. No score yet. All right. So let's roll him out. Babe he's a +1 to Gibson. So here we go. Doesn't matter. 4-3, he loses that one. A 12 on Gibson's card is a flyout. Now we'll see if we're going to tag up the score here. All right, let me get D20 back in the game. I'm going to disappear. We'll make it green again. By the way, I love this dice program I'm using as much as I'm having a few problems with it today. All right, that was it. Fly ball to right field. Okay, so even though it's Dugan, we're gonna try to tag up and score. So let's take a look at our right fielder. Right fielder for the Tigers is Heilman. Heilman is average, so he's a 0 effectively for this. Our catcher is Woodall. He's green rated fielding, so he's +1. All right. So the defense is +1. Dugan is -1. All right. So we roll this up. Dugan is there's a 2-point disadvantage. All right. Normally, if you roll it straight up, 1-3, he's safe. 4-6, he's out. But basically, if we roll it up, a 6 would be what it would take. So I think I'm going to change my mind here. I think even though it was to right field, it wasn't deep enough to score Dugan, because Dugan would need the ball to be at the fence to be able to get home. All right. So station to station, everybody's on. Everybody stays where they're at. All right. There's Coombs coming up. And Coombs is +1 because platoon split doesn't matter here, so we'll add 1 to the red die. That's 1 up. Okay. Doesn't matter. He wins it at 6-3. A 3 on his card is a single. Okay. All right. So we know he's on first. Okay. Let's see if Lazzeri scores easily. So right now we got runners at first and third. Okay. So the single was 2. Just so I can see where I'm at. Single's to right field. Okay, so we're going to hold him up there. All right. And what did I do? What did I do with sorry, score? That's right. Come still a second. All right. So here we go. Back to our pitcher. Okay. Shocker is coming up against Gibson. And we do have Yankee score there. Oops, do a little better job than that. All right, here we go. -1. They're even, but he's -1, so the pitcher wins. And that is a ground out to end the inning. Sorry, that was 2 outs. So it's a ground out to end the inning. It just happens to be a ground out to third base. Okay? So that ends the inning. Bottom of the fourth. Shocker. All right, we go to the top of the fifth. Got our runners off base here. Everybody off here. So any plays out in the field, defensive, putouts, whatever they are, out in the field, you tell up the skill level of your defense versus the offensive player, or versus the runner. That's how it rolls. All right. Oh, sorry, it's Taverner. Sorry. Okay, so Taverner's coming up against Shocker. They are even up. 6-3 pitcher wins with a 5 on his card. That is a ground out. That is a ground out to shortstop. 1 out. Okay. I'll try to get better track of my outs and stuff this time around. Sorry, guys. All right. So here in the bottom of the fourth, Fothergill steps in. He's +1 versus Shocker, so we'll add 1 to the red die. So that makes it a 3. Doesn't matter. Pitcher had a 6, and it's a strikeout for him. So Fothergill goes down, and let's see if he swung or watched it. 1 to 3, he swung on it. It's a 3, so it's a strikeout swinging. All right. So we have 2 outs. Manouche, even up. They roll the same thing. So we pull a wild card. See what happens here. Drag bunt. Batter safe. All runners advance 1 base. All right. So he bunts to get on. Little wrinkle added in there. So he is on first. So Manouche is on. Okay, Howman coming up again. He is +1 versus Shocker, so we'll add 1 to the red die. Makes it a 7 versus a 2. Batter wins that one easily. That's a single. All right. Manouche's average, so we'll say he goes second. Let's see where the hit was 2. Okay, single to left field. All right, so he'll hold up there. Manouche will hold up there on second base. And Heilman is on first. All right. Pitcher coming up. Sam Gibson steps to the plate. He's -1. All right. So it doesn't matter. Gibson loses that one. On Shocker's card, that's a line out. 2. Uh-oh. We'll do it again. Don't like that result. Straight back to the pitcher. All right, so back to the pitcher. We're going to do a check on one of the 2 runners. Okay, now both of them, we're going to check here. Both of them are average. So typically, unless they're blue rated, I give the assumption that they got back. They're quick enough to get back to the base. Okay, if they're blue rated, we'd roll it and see. All right, so they're both in. Doesn't matter though, as that's our I'm losing my mind. That's our third out, right? Yes, it is. All right, third out of the inning. So we're out of the inning. No score for Detroit. Resetting everything on this side. 2, 3. All right, got that done. All right, so I'm behind here. Okay, we're heading for the top of the fifth. Let me get this out of the way. And we have Collins coming up for the Yankees. All right. All right, here we go. Collins is even up with Gibson, but the platoon split gives Gibson a +1. So we'll add 1 to the pitcher's die. It's a tie. We added 1 to the 3 and made it 4. Pull a wild card. It would be a pickoff if there was a runner on base. Okay. So we'll roll again. Again, +1 for Gibson. So pitcher wins that one easily with a strikeout. All right, and we'll see if it was a strikeout looking. 1 to 3. 1 to 3 was swinging. So that is a K for Collins. First out. All right, moving on. Garrick's coming up, and he is +1 to Gibson. So we'll add 1 to the green, the red die. Doesn't matter. Gibson blows it by him, and that is a ground out to. Let's see what the red die does here. Ground out to second base. All right. Kind of funky there. All right. So we have 2 outs. Lazari comes up. All right, and he is +1, but platoon split helps Gibson, so they even out. So they're rolling even up. Straight up roll. 7-1, pitcher wins it. That's a 15. That is a fly out. And for those of you keeping score at home, it's a fly out to the center fielder. So 8-3 ends the inning. So top of the fifth, Yankees don't get anybody in. We now have a, sorry I didn't change that for you Yankee fans up there, 4-2 ball game. Detroit still leading. Then we go back to bottom of the fifth. All right, so Woodall leading off, top of the order. Woodall versus Shocker is straight up. All right, so no changes needed. Shocker wins it with a 13 on his card, which is a fly out. All right, there's going to be a fly out too. Ignoring that on my phone. That's a pop fly out to the left fielder. Okay, so that is did I jump that? I think I jumped that. It should be just what off. Okay, F7, first out. Okay, got 1 out, and we move on to Johnny Noon coming up. He is a switch hitter, so for him, he's going to bat lefty, so the platoon split wouldn't matter if it mattered to Shocker. We already checked with Shocker, and his platoon splits aren't working today, so they're both even up. 5-1, batter wins. A 16 on Noon's card is a walk, so he is on at first base. All right. Okay, Gehringer coming up. He is even up with Shocker, so here we go. 4-3, pitcher wins. A 13 on his card to fly out. So there's a fly out too. To left fielder. Okay. 2 down, on first with base on balls. And we go back to Jack Warner coming up. And he is -1 to Shocker. All right. So here we go. He wins that one, 4-1. A 20 on his card is a bunt hit. So he advances the runner over and is on at first base. Okay. Well, let's see here. Oh, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and do. This is the way I normally do it. I was going to skip it, but so he advances the runner. Let's see if he's safe at first. All right. Our catcher is yellow rated for Detroit or for New York. Sorry. And our first baseman is green rated. So the defense there is +1. All right. Now let's see where the bunt. Let's see where the bunt went. I destroyed it. Add. Where's my D6? Add D6. Make it red. Sorry, y'all. All right. All right. Let's see where that bunt was hit towards. Watch the red die. So first base. All right. So we're going to see if the pitcher is able to come off the mound and make the play. So we'll use the pitcher instead of the catcher. All right. Pitchers, I always field them average. Okay. So the pitcher's average. Gary's +1. That's +1 on defense. All right. Warner is average. So that means it would be 1 to 3 safe, 4 to 6 out normally. Now it's 1 to 2 safe. So we need a 2 for Warner. 3, he is out at first base, all right, and that will end the inning, okay? So, Tavern will be up next, and we go to the top of the 6th, still 4-2, Detroit, all right. All right, and for the Yankees, Dugan coming up. Dugan is even up, but the platoon split favors Gibson here. All right. So we are going to, actually before we start that, take a look at Gibson's card here. See this 5.6? That's his innings per appearance. All right. So we need to check him to see if we need to downgrade him from that D8 to a D6. Okay. So I will roll D6. Well, I'll get rid of my D6 actually for some unknown reason. I'll add another one. I'll make it red because it needs a red one. And now we will roll it. 1 to 3, he needs to be downgraded. 4 to 6, he does not. Guys, I'm sorry. This is not cooperating with me this morning. It was either a choice of not letting you see my roll or doing it this way, and I chose this way, and it's becoming a pain. I'm sorry. I apologize. But you can see me create dice. That's always entertaining, right? Watch the red die. It's a 6. So I said 1 to 3. He does. 4 to 6 he doesn't. So he does not need to be downgraded. So we'll leave him in the game. Normally what would happen is if I was going to downgrade him, he would go to a D6 or I'd swap him out. Okay. So he's good to go. All right. So facing Dugan, he has a +1 advantage. So we'll add 1 to the black die. It's a good thing. Pitcher wins 5-4 with a 12 on his card. It's a ground out. It's a ground out to the second baseman. All right. So 2, 3, 1. 1 out. All right. Coney's coming up. Got 1 out. All right. Gibson pitching, and they are even up, by the platoon split favors him, so he's +1. So add 1 to the black die. Makes it a 6-2, and a 16 on the player's card is a fly out. Fly out 2. Watching the green to 12, that's left field. Okay. So there's 2 outs, and we move on to Babe Ruth stepping in. He is +1 against Gibson, so we'll add 1 to the red die. Pitcher wins it. An 18 on his card, so that's the 3rd out. That will end the inning. Yankees come up empty. Move on to the bottom of the 6th. The Yankees still leading 4-2. Babe was there. Okay. Jackie Taverner coming up for the Tigers. Okay. Sorry, make sure I scored something right there. All right. Taberner coming up for the Tigers. We're going to roll some there. He is straight up against Shocker. Shocker has 6.5, so we'll check him after this inning. Sorry for all my stuff. Noises on my phone here. Here we go. Even up. 6-3 pitcher wins it with a ground out. It's a ground out to second base. All right. So 4, 3. All right. So we have one out. Fothergill coming to the plate, and he is +1 against Shocker. So we'll add 1 to the red die. 6-2, he wins it. It's a single on his card. So here we go with a single. All right, so he is on first. All right. Heidi Manouche coming up, even up with Shocker, so no change to the roll. 1-1, pull a wild card. It's a ground roll double for Manouche, so he scores a run. That brings in another run for the Tigers, making it 5-2. And he's on second base. All right. And just so we know, what's the green D20? It's to right field. So ground roll double to right field. All right. Here comes Heilman. He's +1 against Shocker. We'll see if he can score Manouche here. All right. 8-3 pitcher. That was a lame roll. Maybe a little more bounce on this. There we go. 5-2 batter wins. It's all right. He's +1 anyway. It's a 4 on his card. That's a single. So we're going to see he's on first. Manouche's average. Let's see if we would send him home there. This ball was hit to a single to left field. The left fielder is throwing the ball. That's Babe Ruth out there, average to good fielder. Our catcher in this case is Collins. He's average. And Manouche is an average runner, so we could roll it straight up to see if he makes it. Let's go ahead and do it. 1-3, he is safe. 4-6, he's out. That was a terrible roll, guys. I'm sorry. These things is not cooperating with me on these individual rolls for some reason. Hang on. All right. See if we can roll our D6 here. All right. That is a 4, so he is out on that one. 2 outs. Removes him from the base pass. And Holmes on first. Okay. Pitcher's up. Urban Shocker coming to the plate. He's -1 to Gibson. So here we go. Not Shocker. Gibson to the plate, guys. Sorry. I forget which team I'm batting for. All right. He's -1, so that's a 3. He still wins it, and that is a single for him. So we'll move these. And that was a single 2. Just a little number in front of the catcher that they didn't make a play on. All right. So that puts Gibson on first and I'm on second. We go to Woodall coming up. Woodall is even up against Shocker. All right, so no changes. Batter wins at 4-1. That's another single. All right. So that was a single too. There's another one in front of the catcher. Little infield action going on here. All right. So they load him up. All right. Heilman at third. Our pitcher Gibson at second, and Woodall at first. And Johnny Noon coming up with 2 outs. He is even up. Sorry for shaking your world there. Calm down, camera. There we go. Okay, Johnny Noon coming up. He is even up with Shocker, so straight up. He rolls a 6, and a 10 on his card's a single. So 1 run is going to score. So we are now at 2 runs there. We'll leave it blank for now. Okay. It was a single 2. Center field. All right. So now we're going to say Woodall's at second, first. Heilman scored. Or Heilman is, yeah. Heilman scored. We're going to see if our pitcher, pitchers I typically don't score on, so we're just going to leave them on second. All right. So, and he's sorry. All right. All right, here we go. 2 outs. They scored 2 runs so far in the inning. Gehringer's coming up. He is yellow, so straight up. He wins at 5-2. Ropes a single himself. And it's a single out to left field. All right. So he is on. That's going to score a run. That's going to move us around here. So 3 runs. The Tigers getting revenge for yesterday, man. 3 runs. Puts him at 7. Okay, and his single was 2. Right, center field. All right, so we'll hold up on that one. All right. So he's got a single. Noon is on third. And the Tigers keep rolling with 2 outs. All right, now here's Jack Warner. He's -1 to Shocker, so we'll take 1 away from the red die. 6-2 out. 6 -1. He loses out to Shocker, and it is a ground out for the final out of the inning. Ground out to shortstop. All right. So Warner. Grounds out to the inning. All right. But the Tigers score 3, making the score 7-2. All right, so here we go. Going into top of the 7th. Yankees sending Coombs to the plate. Gibson, we need to check him. I check him every inning to see if we need to downgrade him. So we'll roll this D6. 1-3 means he is going to be a downgrade, so I need to swap him out, or I end up having to swap pitchers, or swap him, downgrade him. So instead of Gibson, I'm going to put in, 1 second. I'm going to bring in Doyle. All right. So here comes Doyle for Detroit. Facing Coombs. Now Coombs and he are even up. Let's check with Doyle on the platoon split side. 1-3 he gets a splits. 4-6 he does not. 1-3 he's got him. All right. So it doesn't matter with Coombs, but it will later. So for now these guys are both even up. They're both green rated. All right. So nobody out. Nobody on. All right. Coombs is up. They're even up. They both roll 6. That means I'm going to pull a wild card. Catcher interference, batter to first. All right. Runners would advance if they were there, if they were forced. All right, so a little CI for Coombs. Moving him to first. Where's my first base icons? Sorry, let me move these around where they need to be. All right. All right, Musial coming up. He's also green rated, but he's same. They're both righties, so Doyle has the advantage, +1. So +1 to the black die. Makes it a 3, which beats the 2. So Doyle gets a ground out of Musial, and is a ground out to, there's the red die, straight back to the pitcher. Okay, so advance the runner. That puts Coombs on second. Musial is out for the first out of the inning. All right. All right, so here we go. Moving on to our pitcher, which is still Shocker. And he is -2 to Doyle because we got green rated versus blue rated. So take 2 away from the red die. Makes it a 1 to a 6. Okay, pitcher wins it. So Doyle gets a ground out of him. Let's see where the ground out is to, so we can check this. Straight to the first baseman. So steps on first, advance the runner to third, and we have 2 outs. All right. 2 outs, runner on third, and the Yankees send Pat Collins to the plate to lead off hitter to back up. All right. So here we go. Collins is -1, but because of platoon splits, they're both righties. He is -2 to Doyle. That's why I put Doyle in. So take away 2 from the red die. It puts him negative. Pitcher wins that with a ground out to end the inning, and it was a ground out to shortstop. Okay, so we end the inning with Collins, who was a 6-3-3. All right. There goes the Yankees top of 7th with no runs scored. We go to the bottom of 7th. Nobody on, nobody out. Where's my third base icon? There we go. And this needs to move to Keurig next time. All right. Jackie Turner coming up. Now let's check Urban Shocker. We've gone past his innings limit. So let's take a look at how that works. 1 to 3, he gets downgraded. 4 to 6, he does not. 1 to 3, he gets downgraded. All right, so let's replace Shocker. You can look at that either way you want to. I always look at it as, let's swap pitchers if we need to. If someone's really been on, though, or if the platoon splits really favor him, I've left pitchers in instead of swapping them out. In this case, we're going to bring in Giard for New York. Okay. For him, platoon splits, yes, or 1 to 3. No, it's 4 to 6. Yankee pitchers have been unlucky with that. So no platoon advantage for him. So he's straight up with Tavener here. All right, here we go. Pitcher wins at 7-4 with a line out. And there's a line out to the shortstop. All right, so Tavener is out. 6-1. Our first out of the inning. Finally go. All right. He is green rated, so he's +1. So add 1 to the red die. Makes it 5, doesn't matter. We got an 8 for the pitcher. So there's a 9 on the pitcher's card. That's a ground out. And there's a ground out to the pitcher. So 1, 3, and 2 outs in the inning. And Manouche comes up. He is even up with the pitcher's yard. And here we go. 8-6, pitcher wins with a strikeout. And we'll see if it was just because you like to see. 1 to 3 is swinging. Okay, I was looking. So we'll put it backwards. K in the scorebook for Manouche. And in the inning for the Tigers with no score. Yankees beginning to run out of time here. Still down by 5 going into the top of the 8th. All right, Gehrig is coming up to the plate. We'll see what Lou can do here. All right, he is +1 on Doyle because he's got the star watermark on his card. That means he was a top 10 hitter that year. So against another green rated player, he gets a +1. All right, so add 1 to the red die. Doesn't matter. Doyle sets him down. It's a ground out. Ground out to first base. All right, so just a quickie out there for Gehrig. Okay, 1 out. Moving on to Lazeri. Steps in. He's just green rated, so they would be even up, but platoon split. They're both righties. That helps Doyle out. All right, so Doyle is +1, so add 1 to the black die. 8-4, he wins it anyway. 17 is a line out on his card, and it would be a line out to the shortstop. All right, so Doyle is getting it done for the Tigers. Okay, Dugan coming up for New York. Dugan is yellow rated, so he is -1 already, but he's also, unfortunately, a righty, so he's -2 here. So subtract 2 from the red die. That's a 1 versus a 5. So Doyle sets the side down in order. That is a line out for him. And that is a line out to the first baseman. 3. All right. So into the inning for Yankees, we go to the bottom of the 8th. All right. Let's see, Manush was last time. Right? Yeah, Howman's up. Okay, so here we go. Tigers still leading. Let me change the score here. All right, 7-2 Tigers going into the bottom of the 8th. Yankees down to 1 more last gasp here, for sure. Let's see what happens with the Tigers in this half inning. All right, against Giard, Howman is +1. So add 1 to the red die. 4-2, he wins it. A 12 is a double on Howman's card. So he ropes a double. Let's see where he hits it. I do 1-2 left field, 3-4 center field, 4-6 right. So it's left field double. So he gets on with double to left field. Oh, sorry, I'm cracking my neck over here. All right, now our pitcher, Jess Doyle, comes up. And he is going to be blue rated versus Giard, so he's -1 to him. So take away 1 from the red. That's a 2. Pitcher wins that one. Giard's card. That's a fly out. For him, that's a fly out 2. Left field. All right. So there we go. That is F7 for the first out of the inning. Make sure I've got Doyle in there. All right, and Howman stays on second. All right. We go to Woodall. And he is even up with Giard, so we don't take any changes. Just roll it straight up. 5-4, batter wins that one. 16 is a walk. All right, so Goodall is on at first base. Or Woodall. Goodall. All right, that brings up Johnny Noon. He's a switch hitter, so platoon split wouldn't bother him, but that doesn't matter because Giards aren't working for him today. So they're straight up. All right. Pitcher wins that one 4-1. So for Giard, that is a ground out on his card. Let's see where he grounded out to. All right. Yeah, so third baseman steps on the base. So Heilman is out. Now the question is, did we make a double play or did we not? Okay, so let's look at Woodall. Okay, and see if he made it to second or not. He's average. Our third baseman for the Yankees is Dugan. He's blue rated, so he's -1. Going to our second baseman, Lazari, who's average, so it's -1. Average there, so Woodall has the advantage. 1 to 4, he'd be safe. So let's roll our D6 and see. He did make it. Okay, so he is at second base. Or no, it's the other way around. It's Noonan. He and Noon. So he's at third. And Noon is at second. Sorry. All right. I'll get it right eventually. Let's try that. Okay. Second. Okay. All right, and we got one more out. 2. Okay. All right. All right, here we go. We are coming up with Warner. Warner's blue rated, so he's -1 to Giard. So let's roll it, take 1 away from the red. They would be tied, but he loses because of the disadvantage. So on the pitcher's card, that is an 8. That's a ground out to end the inning. And that's going to be a ground out to shortstop. All right. So Warner is the inning. And we move on to the Yankees' top of the 9th. The last inning. We just score a run there, so it's 8. 8-2 Tigers. All right. All right. Koenig is up to lead off the inning. Let me clear my runners off and my outs off so we know what's what, right? All right. Koenig's up to lead the inning off. And he is -1. He's -2 to Doyle because of the platoon split. So take 2 away from the red die. That makes it a 4. Doesn't matter, the pitcher won anyway, but that's a ground out. And we're going to say that is a ground out to the catcher. So first out of the inning, Koenig. Yeah. All right, Babe Ruth stepping in. He's +1 to Doyle because he's green rated, but he has a star. So he's +1. So add 1 to the red die. That's a 3. He still loses it. Fly out on the pitcher card, Doyle's card. That is a fly out to the shortstop. So a little pop up on the infield. So, all right, here we go. Yankees are down to their last out. Just not their day today, it looks like. Coombs is coming up, and Coombs is also +1 against Doyle. He's a lefty, so the platoon split didn't hurt. So he's +1, so add 1 to the red die. So 7 didn't matter. Pitcher wins it. Doyle comes in and shuts him down. That's a line out to end the game. Then a line out to the first baseman. And that puts this one in the book. Second game of the 3-game series. Detroit comes back and ties it. Your final score is, put the 0 in here just so I can be official. Final score is 8-2 Tigers. So we're tied up. We go on to the final game in New York. And as soon as I'm ready, I'll post that one and we'll keep this going. This is the first of 4 first-round games series we'll be playing. So look for this one either later today or early tomorrow. And I appreciate you watching. Thanks.